Hi everyone. I am so excited to be coming your way with this wonderful discussion. And it's going to be the first of many discussions that we're going to have based on the new book that was written by Samuel Amateyama. 77 questions you need to ask before you say yes. Have you ordered your copy? If you have not, I would encourage you to do so. Please click on the link below and order your copy. And I'd like you to share this video as well. And subscribe if you haven't done so. So I am so excited about the topic we are going to discuss today. I have some great friends with me right here. To my left is Kathleen, and then to my right is Beatrice. So what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about the video that Mr. Samuel Amateyama did a couple of days ago about how to get your man to do what he needs to do. This discussion right here is based on the woman's take on that video. So the important question is, do we really need to ask the men to do what they need to do? Should they not be doing what they need to do? Is it really, really important? So I am going to start with my friend Beatrice. Let us hear what you think based on this video.
Yep. Well, hi everyone. Yes, my name is Beatrice. Yes, I really think that men should be told what to do actually, because from experience, I feel like men can only focus on one thing at a time, as opposed to women. So if he's doing one thing and you expect him to do another, it could take him days or even weeks before he does it. So we actually have to, in my opinion, I actually have to tell my husband that, you know, when you're done doing this, can you please help me with that? Will you remember to do this? And I don't even have to tell him once. Like if I realize he's finished whatever he was doing and he hasn't embarked on whatever I talked about, sometimes I have to remind him. I'm like, oh, what time do you think you'll be doing this? You'll be studying on this and that. So yeah, it's important because most men are not able to multitask in their heads to know that after this, I'll be doing this. Unlike women, we can plan a whole day, you know, in 1 minute we can plan a whole day and say, after this I'm going to do this, after this I'm going to do this. But men will just do one thing, and then after that, many times my husband will come to me and say, what else was I supposed to do after this? What else did you ask me? And of course, sometimes it might feel like you might feel frustrated having to repeat yourself over and over again, but gracefully you have to remember that their thinking is not like the woman's thinking. You actually have to repeat yourself in a nice way. Try not to be frustrated that they forgot, and then yeah, keep telling them you're supposed to do this, and then remember on that day you're supposed to do this, but still on that day you have to actually go back and say, today at 2 p.m. you know, you're supposed to do this. So from my experience, we need to tell them what to do.
That has been wonderfully said. She did say that if you told him that Thursday is supposed to do something, that day, Thursday, you still have to remind him to do it. That is really, really important. But this is where I'm like, well, if this is the initial stages of the relationship, we're getting to know ourselves very well. There are no children in right now. He doesn't really know me that much. It's been just a short time of knowing each other. I can kind of see, reminding him he needs to do it, reminding him he needs to do that. But if we've been married for 10 years, 11 years, you know, and we kind of know our routine and whatnot, do I have to still ask him? I'm like, well, right now he knows what I like, he knows what I don't like, he kind of like, you know, knows the routine of the house. So is it still important to ask?
Well, to an extent, you have to remind them, and sometimes not to, because I feel like men, like Beatrice was saying, focused on doing one thing, but as women, naturally, we're multitasking naturally. But then men are tasked to do one thing, and that's all they think about. So oftentimes they do the most important to themselves, the ones that they think and feel is best to do at what time. But as a woman, like Miss Beatrice was saying, you need to remind them and remind them again, even at that time, at the moment when they have to get it done. So to an extent, you need to remind them. To an extent, you need to let them, give them the space to remember.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to remind them and then leave it there and hope and pray that they do remember. And then when they don't, you subtly remind them. It's still a reminder, because their ego is easily bruised. Even though there has to be a reminder, the timing and the where, when, and how is the most important. You have to remind them of how you do it, when you do it, and what again, the moment you do it. So it's two ways. You have to remind them, you don't have to remind them. But at the same time, you shepherd them sort of on knowing that you're shepherding them. That's what makes us powerful as women, that we're able to get them to do what we want. At the same time, they think that they're doing what they want. But in the end, it is us telling them what they want.
Okay.
It's the timing.
So talking about timing and when and how. So let's take a good example, create a scenario. So I come over, ask nicely, can you please, take care of the trash? And the response is, I'll take care of the trash. Then you come back after 10, 20 minutes on the phone. The trash has not been taken. Can you please take care of the trash? This is the same. This is where I feel like, oh, well, I've said it once, I've said it twice, and then the space we're talking about, we're giving you the room to now kind of do what you said you are going to do. That is where it becomes a little dicey. Do I,
Where's the
push
team
again?
divide?
Yeah, because men kind of say women always nag, women always nag, that kind of stuff. But are the men giving us the reason to nag? Because if I've asked once and I've asked twice, why should I ask again? That is where I'm expecting you to come out, the man that you are, to do what you said you were going to do.
Okay.
So how do we handle that situation? What do you think, ladies?
Yeah, personally, when I expect him to be doing something and I've reminded him to do something, and I feel like, for example, the time is passing when he's supposed to be doing it, and I'm like, this might not happen. Sometimes I try to act like I'm going to do something.
Yes.
Like, for example, the trash, I'll be like, I try to get like a new trash bag and try to
Start opening, making all the
prep it
noise.
and all that, and all that, and first drop it and do something else to see like if it's
you
gonna
want to
fit,
pick up the keys.
yeah, stuff like that. And then many times you'd be like, oh yeah, the trash or something like that, Or like if we're supposed to go buying groceries and I realize he's not getting off the couch, or he's still cutting the grass and it doesn't seem like he's about to stop. You grab like the keys and stuff like that, to start writing the list, the shopping list, and somehow make him see what you're doing so that he picks hint,
Right.
Yeah, something like that. But of course I understand it's challenging if you have to wait and speak and wait. It gets challenging, definitely. Yeah.
Well, for me, like I always say, experience is the best teacher.
Mhm.
So, like in my neighborhood, trash comes on Thursdays. So for me, my everything, I'm I will get it done at night. In the morning, you up and go.
Mhm.
So I stay up, get all the chores done, and the last thing I do is go outside and put the trash in the big trash can. So, for instance, if I say, "Oh, can you please put the trash in the trash can?" The truck comes very early, like 6, and by then you would have left, and I'm trying to get ready to go. I won't be able to run and put it there.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I'll go do it. The first time, I'll get it done. The next time, I let the trash truck go, and the trash can is left.
Okay.
Then I make you, in a very beautiful way,
Uh-huh.
find a way to get that trash out of the house.
Okay.
He will never forget it again.
Okay.
I'm not going to be upset,
Uh-huh.
but it's going to be a very beautiful way. And he will remember, because if I move that trash can to the side of the road, the truck will pick it up. I leave that trash in the can, so he comes back, he'll open it to put it, and then he'll run and go outside to see the big trash can was empty. Oh, it was empty, what happened? I thought you did it. No, I did not. Oh, well, I thought you did it. I thought you were the one who moved it. If it keeps happening,